Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today for another video, and the first video of 2019. So, sorry there hasn't been anything up for the past few weeks. I've not been too well. I was ill over Christmas for a few weeks, so just getting back on track now. And I actually wanted to show you something that I got before Christmas, and it is the CD set that you can see here. It is called the Conet project, and it's a 5 CD box set of recordings of shortwave number stations. So, just a bit of a background on number stations. So, for many decades now, the shortwave radio spectrum has been used by the world's intelligence agencies to transmit secret messages. And these messages are still transmitted to this day under the umbrella term of number stations. So, shortwave number stations aren't just limited to transmitting numbers, they transmit things like data, songs, beeps, buzzes, and all sorts of strange noises, which add to the mysterious reputation that they have. And they're a perfect method of anonymous one-way communication, which is directed allegedly at spies and government agencies located anywhere in the world. And the beauty of them is that they can be received by regular shortwave receivers, and it's actually a lot more reliable and safer than the internet and phones and things like that. So the stations use really rigid schedules, which can actually be found online, and these don't often change. And they transmit in many different languages, and many of them use synthesized voices, male, female, or even children's voices, which are really spooky. And they repeat strings of numbers or phonetic letters day and night all year round. And number stations in the past have been linked mainly to the Cold War, but they still continue to this day. And even new stations have actually appeared since the end of the Cold War. So we can only actually guess what messages the stations are sending and predict the locations, as most of the details surrounding them is unknown. So really strange stuff. Now, I'm not going to go into too much more detail on number stations because there's plenty of information online. But I just wanted to show you this CD set which I picked up. Now, I should point out now that this video isn't sponsored by the Conet project. I think the chap's name who compiled the original recordings back in the 90s is called Akin Fernandez. So if you happen to be watching this, hi, really enjoyed the CD. But yeah, this isn't a sponsored video at all, guys. This is just something I picked up to add to my collection of all things radio. So I just thought I'd share it with you. So the Conet project was originally released in 1997 as a 4 CD set, but in 2013 a 15th anniversary edition was released, which incorporated another CD and a new booklet, and there's some really nice things in here. I'll just show you. So first of all, there you can see the 4 CD set. So CDs 1 to 4 are in this. You can see the artwork on the front there. It's really nicely put together. And it shows you pictures of some of the antennas on different embassies and things like that, and you can see there's artwork on the discs of places like embassies and rumoured transmission sites. I think disc 1 there is RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, which I think is where the Lincolnshire Poacher was actually broadcast from. So yeah, some really nice artwork on this set. So CD 1 has got 23 recordings on. The first one is the Swedish Rhapsody, which is quite a famous number station. And there's just all sorts of weird and strange oddities on here from all over the shortwave spectrum, from these covert and clandestine stations. Disc 2 has got 43 tracks, and there's some really spooky ones on here, like the German man, English man, German lady, Russian man, and these are some of the spooky synthesized voices which I spoke about earlier. And although some of these, like the Englishman, they're not necessarily broadcast by English stations or English government agencies. So yeah, some really spooky tracks on here, but some really good listening. Disc 3, again, has got 41 tracks on. There's all sorts of things on here, like Oblique. I'm sure those who are into number stations have heard that one before. We've got some jamming from Iran on there and all sorts of stuff. And then Disc 4... again, 43 tracks, so some massive ones here. 2 quite famous number stations on this CD are the Pip and the Buzzer, so I'll put a couple of clips in. And then you can see we've got the additional disc, which was included in the 13th anniversary edition. This is disc 5. It comes in its own separate little case, and this is a selection of recordings, number stations and things like that. Again, there's 26 tracks on here, so again, plenty to listen to. And there's a little booklet in here, so if I just show you this booklet, you can see we've got the track list there on page 1, and then we've got the Stasi voice Morse generator of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of State and Security of the GDR, which was the source of the synthetic voices on shortwave number stations from Berlin. And there's a one-time pad on the back there, so yeah, that's quite a nice little booklet. And then finally, we've got actually what looks like a CD, but this is basically a book, and it's over 70 pages long. There's all sorts of stuff in here. There's loads of pictures. There's track listings and information for each CD. There's lists of number stations and the descriptions and what they all are. Stuff about Enigma. Phonetic alphabet, all sorts. I'm not going to show too much of this on camera because it's quite a nice little book. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's looking to get hold of this set. So yeah, that actually looks like a CD, but it's a book. And then you get some really cool postcards and pictures here. So we've got Ashtung there, and some numbers. I think these were sent out to see if any would come back. I think if you received one of these back in the day and emailed Erdal Records, which is the company that released this CD set, I think they were trying to see how many responses they could get, and we've got a nice picture there of the Hungarian embassy in Belgravia with some pretty cool looking antennas on the top, and then we've got the Morse and voice generator there from Berlin. So I just thought I'd share this little CD set with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like this. It was something I've been looking for quite a while, and I managed to come across it on eBay. Now, one thing I should point out is there's very, very limited new copies of this left. I think they're down to about a handful left now. So if you do want to get hold of it, I will put a link in the description. As I say, the video's not sponsored at all. The guys that made this CD set don't know I'm doing this video, so I should just point that out. But if you're into radio and shortwave and all that sort of stuff, then I'm sure this is something you might want to add to your collection. So again, link is in the description below. And with that, all that's left to say is 7-3. I'll leave you with another clip. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions or questions, then drop them in the box below. I've got tons of stuff coming this new year, guys, so stay tuned on the channel. Really busy, lots of stuff to show you. So make sure you look out for all that. And we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
690/52. 690/52. Attention.